Okay, we're just going to talk a little bit about margins and columns and guidelines. Okay, so as you can see, I am currently working within my master page, and as you can see with the master page, remember the blue box is highlighted, but also it's the black lettering of what you're working on that is actually where you are working in your document. So I'm working in my master. So around the edge of the master, you may have noticed these pink lines. Now they are called margins. What do? They create the margin of the edge of the page, and it's basically an area that you define as the user that you want your content to sit between. So for example, if I was to have a text box with lots of writing, and I want to make that text really big. Yep. It's actually going to sit, you want it to sit within that area, using that as a guide for that content to sit within. Or same again, we're going to have a box and we're going to click in here, and that's going to be something that we want to have that's consistently inside that box, having multiple copy paste, and we're going to use that as a guide for our content. This is the start of looking at actually space, using negative space and your composition. So how do we change that? What if we want those guides to be bigger, those margins, I apologize. So in layout, we've got margin and columns. All right, so we want to have preview checks, so we want to see what it's actually doing to the document. And at the moment, we've got 4 areas. We've got the top, we've got the bottom, the left and the right of the actual page layout, the canvas. And there's this link icon. So make all the same at the same. Make all settings the same. So if I was to click in here and go, I want my margins to be 20 mils, and then all areas are down here. However, at the bottom here, I've decided I want it to be the same height as that. So I'm going to uncheck that linked box, and I want the bottom to be, I'm just going to pop it out, to be 23 mil, and that works well for me because now I've got a consistent area as a guide that I can use on every page. Columns, on the other hand, these are for multiple page layouts. So what I've done with just adding one column is I've created essentially 2 A4 pages, which can be a really good option when you're using lots of content, or even then 3 or 4 pages. All this is a guide to put your text and your position. So it's like a grid guide area, and the gutter is the distance between each of the columns, so you can change that as well. So for this, I'm going to go with, that looks pretty good. I'm just going to go with 2 actually to start with and go from there.